Hello, and welcome to the extended version of our Mountain Home game. We've enjoyed it enough that we decided we would do a second arc of this, another quarterly, and this is the first part of that. We left off last time here in year seven, at the beginning of that year, with the arrival of a group of human mages. These are mages that work via these metal familiars that they have with them. And you have Wira, who is with you, who is the woman who first kind of took your stuff seriously and came and lived with you for a while. And then Lubeck arrived, who is the prince of these sorcerers. I'll also point out that in the NPC notes, somebody has written Prince question mark ass, which I think sums up the character's general feeling about that. They had some insight, though not particularly made clear, about kind of what happened with the sorcerers, where they came from, like something, there was some kind of revolution or some kind of change or something. They are here with their team of exorcists. They have been spending a week getting things ready, going around, looking over things, and the group is set to gather themselves together and head back down into the chambers to deal with this Monkey King situation. There are some other things that are on the table as issues to be dealt with. Uh, I haven't actually gotten the entanglements out on the table for this particular year, but we will once this Monkey King situation has been dealt with. I did go over, I think, last time where the other factions got to, and so we did go through that. But we will see you all gathering, getting your gear together. I assume that uh, at least our oh, and everybody should change their name.
Oh,
Uh,
sorry.
I know that Grunheld, you'll be bringing your guild members. That's clear, and you did some preparations last time to get them set for things. And Dazin, are you taking your scouts with you?
Uh, yeah, I think so. I was just debating whether I wanted to take them into something dangerous, but
Yeah.
they'd probably get mad if I didn't.
What about you, Tolan? Are you taking the Laborers Guild with you?
Um, no, I don't think so.
Okay. And what about you, Dagriel?
I will ask for volunteers. I say I plan to be there to witness what's going on, but it is a dire situation. I wouldn't mind having a backup of someone to at least record the basics should I not make it.
Let's see. So I think you do get, if you want to have your Scholars Guild with you, you will get some volunteers.
Okay.
And Fishbane Nina.
No, that's what I have to do is have someone
Keep her
keep
from
fish
going.
burning up. Yes. I pay good dwarven coin.
Okay. to keep her occupied so that she doesn't
Exactly.
go and
Yes,
become
I tell her
victim.
that she needs to go watch for the circus that might be coming anytime.
Oh God. Gonna break her little goblin heart there.
It's worth it. It's too dangerous.
I'm waiting for the circus all day. So you will gather yourselves together, and Lubeck, you will see him have a discussion kind of along a similar axis with Mira, where he is clearly not keen on her going along on this, but you have the sense that she she has made it clear her position, and that her not going might be perceived as embarrassing or a sign of weakness, and she sort of works that particular angle. You also have with you a group of volunteers from the the LIDA that have come along to provide their assistance should matters become a problem. They know metalworking, and they're competent fighters, so they are going along. And so, is there anything else prep wise or scene wise that we want to have before the group review descend into the depths? Dawson?
Don't really have anything at the moment. No.
Gabriel?
I think that since all the mages are here, to recount what we know about what we assume is a clan that did these magics, about what clues we found, how they were sort of hidden later, and essentially just sort of that story, to get that sense that there was a period of time here where this was being fought as best they could, and essentially just kind of go through that so they have all of the clues, and also the sense of where things are in the scale of what we found so far in this place. That this is like deep, but not the deepest part of the hold.
Do you want to make a study roll?
Yes, I would love to do that, so that I can impart something that might be useful to them, or at least help them orient themselves. Let's see here. So that would be 3 dice?
Yeah.
Okay. If only I didn't have to roll them. I could just say 3 dice is a lot and it'll be fine. But this is not how the world works with me.
Would this count as other factions for the Centaur Library?
Ooh, that's a
good.
good idea. We've had enough time around them.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think you could activate that.
Okay.
We'll mark that as used.
Thank you. So that's 4d6. This will be an astounding number of dice to do poorly on then.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I got a 5, 6. I got a 6.
So they listen very seriously to what you have to say. They can tell that they're impressed with the details that you have. And I think that that will, like you lay that out, and I think there's some nodding from them, and I'm putting another tick on your reputation clock.
Okay.
Like impressing them with that. But the other thing that you get from that is that there's a group of them that they clearly know something else about this, and they're not saying.
Really?
Just pick up like maybe they had some other information about this, or maybe some insight, or something, but they're playing that close to their chest.
Let's see, of all those mages, which one do I trust most? That would be Aiken.
Well, there is that. But your group is
But he's not one of those people, right?
He's not one of those people.
Okay.
You have the sense it's probably Lubeck and some of Lubeck's cohort. So the group of you will descend down into these tunnels. Anything else, Tolan or Grunheld, that you want to do before we go in? Grunheld? And then we'll come to Tolan.
Sherry, did you I'm so sorry. Sherry, did you say you were bringing any of the Healers Guild with you?
Well, of course, I assumed that they were there, but I didn't actually specify it. There will be some.
Some back in support.
Yeah, exactly, but back a ways. Like
Okay.
only like after we drag someone out, then they'll be there.
I'm guessing though Hemok wouldn't be.
I don't know. You could roll for Hemok if you want.
I'm wanting someone who is probably Healer's Guild who's still staying back.
Hemok will
Oh, yeah.
stay back.
Okay.
Okay.
Then I will have written out a letter to be sent back to our original home, informing them of what has happened here and what we're trying to do, and tell Hemok that that if we don't get back in a certain amount of time, they don't hear from us in a certain amount of time, that he should prepare this community for evacuation. Something bad will be happening, more than likely. And this letter needs to get back to the old home, because one of the things that has happened to us here is that no one told us what befell the old home. And we need to make sure that someone knows so they can come in prepared.
I will.
And
I
then
will.
avenge us at the bottom.
And he will. I will do that, my thing. And Tolan, anything that you were doing?
This can actually be like as we're headed that way.
Yeah.
But I think I need to warn Dawson, because of what Nabil said.
What do you say to Dawson?
See, am I gonna try to like be? No, I'm not. I'm just gonna like catch up with him. Dawson, probably should have. Well, didn't really have time to tell you this before we left, but yeah. So I talked to Nabil, the channeler.
Oh, is that why you're sounding crazy right now?
It does kind of rub off, doesn't it?
I'm just saying.
It's like an accent, you know. It sticks.
Serious face.
So apparently the spirit possessing the giant monkey thing.
I'm familiar with it. We're actually headed there right now. In case
yes,
you weren't
exactly.
aware.
That spirit.
Yes.
Apparently it can attack. So it can attack people, not physically, but like mentally, magically. And people who are especially, you know, attuned to stone, like yourself, are more susceptible to it.
That doesn't seem right. I mean, if my expertise should grant me extra protection against this, you know, this is my sort of territory.
I mean, that does make sense, but
yes, it does.
I think, I mean, Nabil has some experience with this kind of thing.
So, is your suggestion that I should run up and stab it in the ankle instead?
I mean, my suggestion is you should be. Oh, here, out of character question. Are you a clay person or a...
Yeah, I would be clay person here.
Yeah, I don't know if it makes a difference that you're in that body. It doesn't seem like it would. You know what? You better take this. And I hand Dawson the charm thing that Nabil gave me.
And do you give him any admonitions about it?
Yeah, I was told to not use this and not put it on until we were there and it was absolutely needed.
When
I think
would
you might
be
need it more than I do.
absolutely needed? How will I know when it's absolutely needed? Is there a particular time that's the absolute need?
I mean, I kind of assumed when we were, within reach of the thing, but
It has a much longer reach, so its reach or
it occurs to
our
me now that I probably should have asked a few more questions.
perhaps if he had some sort of pamphleture or something in writing.
No, that definitely not.
Oh, well. I appreciate the warning. I have no intention of turning back. If I
No,
were to use
I
my
didn't think you
magic,
would.
it is a 35-foot tall gorilla spirit monster of war and hatred. I'm pretty sure we're all in a fairly high amount of danger.
Right. But
But I will keep
you're
an
the most
eye out.
likely of us to use magic in a fighting kind of situation. Like you're using it right now to be in that body. So it seems like you would attract it more than I would. And this, I'm not sure what it does. It's supposed to help.
I appreciate the warning and the very strange jewelry. Should I watch out for you now that you don't have this protection? Will you go crazy or turn on us or explode? You didn't actually explain the full consequences.
I don't think exploding was one of them.
All right, well, that's good to
I think
know.
it was more of the go crazy kind. But yeah, if you see me acting crazy, you knock me over the head.
Can do.
So you all will gather yourselves together, get your gear, and you will begin to make your way down into the depths, which is, as always with these expeditions, a journey roll to start. I assume that someone is going to lead the journey roll, both as a buffer for rolling and also for an XP bonus. Who wishes to lead the journey?
That is a fine question.
I've got 3 stress marked.
Yeah, that's what I was going to check. I think I have 3 as well.
I have no
Yo.
stress marked, so I can lead it.
Okay.
Tolan, then you will roll your journey roll.
Okay.
That is a 5. That is a good
5.
roll. Dazin, let's have you make your journey roll.
I'm gonna mark my guild just on the crazy chance. You never know.
Okay.
Maybe it's 6. Maybe it's a double 6. It's not a double 6. It's a double
Yeah.
4.
It's a double 4, so another mixed success. And then Brunheld.
Yet
That is
another 4.
Yeah.
But no stress.
Nobody has spent any stress. But we still
Hey.
have Dogriel coming up.
And I have fine dice skills. Let's see. Well, there's a 2. Sorry
There's a-
about that.
So your highest is a miss, or a mixed success, rather, is what I meant to say there. So this journey is a little more. How do I put this? Takes longer and is a little more loud than you would have liked to have as you proceed down here. And we will see you all make your way. And it is a long descent again. Some of the people have been on this trek down before, and they are trepidatious. While others have not been down here, but they've heard the stories already. And I think you can see the fear and nervousness that is upon them here. Even with the little drakes that have been brought along to help, like keep their focus and help deal with the smaller monkeys and such. So, could I have someone roll me a d6?
What is this D6 for?
Roll me a d6, Dagriel.
All right. There's a 3.
So there is that bit when you get down close to the great cavern where the monkeys are, and you are moving forward to that last bit to kind of the look down and to move down into this place and stuff, when you hear the screeching behind you. And there is a wave of these monkeys that come rushing up like a torrent, like a tide, that come and kind of crash and sort of force you to that immediate melee and kind of push you back. And from the cavern itself that you were headed towards, you hear the like a sequence of cries go up, and then they all stop. Even the ones that are attacking you at that one end, they all stop, and you will hear another screech, louder, that shakes the rock, and you can see shapes and shadows go pouring up towards where you are as you're kind of caught between these two pincers of this flood that's pushing you towards the cliff, and these other monkeys, including this rising monkey king. I think you just see this one hand kind of come up to the cliff and start to pull itself up, kaiju style, to where you are at. So here is how this is going to work. There are 3 fronts that you kind of need to deal with. This is both dealing with the progress of the fight against the monkeys, protecting the mages, and so on. Those 3 fronts essentially are fighting on the physical front, either doing that yourself or supporting people who are, fighting on the spiritual front, because there is a dimension of spirits and magical pressure and that going on. And then third one is keeping it together. These monkeys are trying to break your confidence, break your will, shatter your lines, get at the soft, squishy exorcist middle of you. And so those are the 3 fronts. Those are 3 clocks. They are 6-segment clocks. When they are filled, they will get cleared, and we will put 1 tick on like the overall progress clock, which is a 6-segment clock. There is a clock for the Monkey King that is going to happen. They're going to get 1 roll after you get your turns. They have a 12-segment clock. It's a little bit longer, but they're only working on 1 clock. And when they get up to that 12 o'clock, some bad stuff will start to happen after that. As well, at essentially the 4 and 8 ticks on the Monkey King's clock, I'm going to look at which of the fighting, spiritual, physical, or keeping it together clocks are lowest at that point. And something's going to happen to the people involved on that side. So that's kind of the meta for what we're going to be doing here.
Okay, where are those clocks being kept so we can keep an eye on them?
Just below depth 4 on the settlement sheet.
Okay, all right, got it. Thank you.
So you can see that there. So feel free to pull out the stops, do what you will to do things on the clocks. Again, a 4 or 5 is 2 ticks. A 0 to 1 to 3 is 1 tick. A 6 is 3 ticks, and a critical success is 5 ticks. Now, because this is a clock rather than your ordinary roll, like a 4 to 5 is your cost is really that you're rolling, you're getting only 2 ticks. So what you can do is you can say, I want to take a consequence. I want to take a cost. You can resist that cost, or you can take a consequence, or you can spend things to go up a result level. So that's kind of the way that we get those consequences and costs in there. We're gonna weave this into a narrative here as we go along, trying to make this exciting. It does mean you've got 3 clocks, so 2 people can be working on 1 clock on a time. So I'm going to start. Grunheld, what are you doing? Like when this happens, when you're getting pushed back, when you first see this monkey keep coming up with this ratted, matted hair, and the smell in here is abysmal. It's all of that kind of carrying up through there of fecus and ages and just wrongness with these beasts. What is it you want to focus on? Are you taking the physical fight? Are you working on keeping people together? What do you think that is?
First thing I yell will be Hearthguard shield wall as they begin to form up to kind of protect. Primarily, I think that the main one is getting in between those spellcasters and giant monkey coming up. But I think that kind of is going to include all the other. When we say physical, that's going after little monkeys, not big monkey, right?
Fighting physical is standing defensive, like attacking and keeping back with swords and blades and fighting that way. That sort of real kind of in your face skirmish and physicality.
I think I'm going to start with the physical.
Okay. What do you want to roll this with?
I think it's going to have to be with skirmish, but I'm noticing in my drop down for supply, something has occurred. If you will look over on my sheet, I don't know if I did that. You know, I am deaf to sheets, but
Sure.
you'll see everything below my special stuff. All of the generic stuff has been somehow taken off. I don't remember doing anything that would have done that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. We'll certainly look to fix that, but we can.
But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and mark, just click in. I wonder if I can do that. Just write something. Yeah, a few guild members. I'm doing my bigger end guild in there.
Okay.
So there's that. Oh, it doesn't want to do that. So I'm just going to.
Yeah, you just like hand keep track of that, or on your notes or whatnot.
All right. Yeah, I'll just put something in there extra to keep an eye on it. Oh, Lord. Okay. So in fact, I'm going to use them. That's going to give me an extra die. And I don't think I'm going to push myself yet.
That makes sense.
Anybody feel like helping? Feel free.
How many dice? This feels like skirmish, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at 2 right now.
Okay, you're looking at 2.
I'll help.
Yeah, I was okay.
Okay, so Tolan, Dagger, one of you mark a stress.
All right, rolling 3 dice.
There's 3 dice.
4 is my highest.
So that is 2 ticks. Do you want to take a cost for that, and take it up to 3 ticks.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a cost. Let's have this. Let's go out like that. Yeah.
Okay. I think that the cost here is you've polished those shields, you've made those mirrored shields. I think that those monkeys are flinging dirt and garbage and cave stuff, and those mirrored shields, like they are in that first wave rendered dirty and besmirched, and like that particular aspect is eaten up. Does that seem like a reasonable cost?
That makes sense, and I
Okay.
will try to resist.
Okay.
Did you say we can resist, right?
Yeah, you can absolutely resist, because I would love to see you spend more stress.
Oh, yes, of course. I think that sounds like prowess.
That sounds like prowess.
Rolling 3 dice. I got a 6.
Okay, so you take no stress and you're able to resist the eating up of that resource. Dawson, what axis are you working on?
So I think weirdly, just given Dawson's everything, um, what I'm gonna be working on first is the keeping it together, the morale,
Okay. And how are you doing that?
by summoning ghosts.
That sounds like a plan. But by ghosts, you mean ancestor spirits.
I do mean ancestors.
Okay.
I am calling on Brazavello Cobalt Bane, who I built that shrine to several years ago, and I've consulted several times. You know, I've been sort of a personal touchstone for me. So I'm pulling out an effigy of her and asking her to invite some of the other ancestor spirits to sort of like just spread through the company here, keep people calm, maybe do some nice familiar chanting if they have that, or just friendly ghost touches like, it's okay buddy, we're here for you, and if you'll die you can be here for the next generation. Mountains.
Perfect. So that's 3 dice to start if you're using Stone Speak.
All right. What might be a good devil's bargain?
Oh, I think you pissed the mountain off.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we've been getting along with the mountain recently. I should probably mess
Absolutely.
that up some.
I will put 2 ticks on the mountain's entanglement track. So you are at 4 dice. Ooh, look at you pulling the 6 out of there with a bunch of 2s and 3s.
Just a crappy field with one little 6 waving its head up.
Oh, wow. I thought that was going to be delicious. So that is 3 ticks, unless you want to pay a cost.
I think I already paid a cost to get into this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you, Lowell. That's enough. So we swing around as you are. We see those spirits moving through the people, bracing them, whispering to them in their ears. They're behind the lines. They kind of stand in a sort of echoing formation behind the shield guards and so on, and they help keep the forces arranged and together. Dagriel.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with fighting spiritual because no one's touched that yet. And essentially, I think I have a set of like essentially there is a dwarven way of singing that fills a cavern. It's like very much a thing. And it strikes me at this time that this is a good time to cut off that horrible sound of the monkeys, is to essentially begin like to get everyone to sing this. Does that
Okay.
make any sense? So
Yeah.
that is what I am going for here. And one of the things is that I have a set of things that I found that suggest that there were songs that were sung at Carrick Minor, of course, there's lots of these songs that are old, but ones that we have the runes for. So that those are what I call up and pull up, and my people who are in the back that I have like they're ready to run if it goes bad. I have them start because it's always better to have the song going from there. So I'm going to use my guild mates for that.
Okay. And what do you think the role is for this?
You know, that's a good one.
I could see convince.
Yeah,
I could see.
I think
Yeah.
you know, it's like singing. So you have to convince the people, like the other dwarves, to like join in on this, even though their attention is elsewhere. All of us know how to sing these songs and stuff, but there's a lot of things distracting.
Yeah.
So it is about trying to bring that
You are trying to
sound up.
change their mind, so I think it is a reasonable one. So that's 2 dice. You're using a
I'll
guild,
help
so that's 3 dice.
as you hear
Greenheld
the
and Marcus
Hearthguard take up
stress.
the song.
So that'll be 4 dice
Why is it 4 dice?
because Greenheld marked distress.
Oh, thank you. All right. I got 2 6s.
So that is a critical success. So that song is picked up and carried. What is it about that like it like draws it together? What is it that you hear here that makes that even more potent?
I think that when we start to sing, one of the things is that, and it's Grunhild's people actually. They are so old; they fought together so many times, and they sung these songs that as soon as they kind of start to sing it, they do that thing where they test the cavern, and they immediately, because they sing together all the time, immediately are the ones that can fill that cavern, and everyone just follows them. It's like they have that deep sense of knowledge of each other and of how stone is, and it just mutes the monkeys.
Nice. Carries over, washes away their screeches and cries. Tolan, what are you doing to help? The exorcists are in the middle doing their rituals, concentrating on that. The fighting lines are there. The song is being taken up. What are you doing?
Well, we actually look pretty good on the spiritual front, so I will just fight. I have I have weapons. I have a hand crossbow and a coil of bullets, or bolts, not bullets.
All right.
Yeah, I am like found a convenient spot to snipe monkeys from.
Okay, I'll assist.
Okay. So you mark a stress. So you've got that crossbow. So that'll be 3 dice.
Let's see. Is this skirmisher scout?
Getting the drop on one's prey. I think the way you've described that, if you want to use scout, you can do that for 4 dice then.
Yeah, actually, oops, I just rolled 3. Well, here, I'll roll 1 more. I didn't make any difference. 5 is the highest.
That is a 5 is the highest. So that's going to be 2 ticks on that physical clock, unless you would like to take a cost here.
Yeah, sure.
I think the cost here, because we don't have a guild to introduce, you didn't bring your guild people with you. I do think that one of these larger monkeys there are cracks and passages, and one of them has made their way along kind of up and jumps on you at your perch there and is going to wound you.
I will take the consequence and try to resist it.
Okay.
And that's obviously going to cost 4.
4. So
it's
2 stress.
Yep. Not bad.
And you guys are pushing along, like you have stopped the initial pressure of this between the Hearthguard and the bolts and everything, that this first sort of rush, and now it's the bloody fray in the trenches fighting here. We've reset the fighting physical back to 0. We've got 1 tick on the overall progress clock. Let's see how the monkeys do. So they will get 2 ticks on their clock there. And they are pressing forward, trying to get at you, trying to cause more havoc, to get in between. They know this place. Their screeches aren't having effect. But I do think that the fact that you do at one side have this giant monkey hand, whipping back and forth there, and that face with those coal black eyes facing down there. And I think there you will see this Monkey King draw in as if to release something. All right, so we're going to do another round of this. We're going to tick 1 over and start with Dazin this time.
Let's see. I think I'm going to lean into having pissed off the mountain. Making people mad is something that Dawson is good at.
Okay.
And we are sitting in the middle of what has to have been like a sore, an irritation, something uncomfortable or painful to the mountain for decades, centuries. Who knows how long now this thing's been sleeping and growing down here. And so I want to try and rile up the mountain's anger and direct it here.
Okay. So that feels again stone speak.
Yes.
Are you ticking 2 ticks on the mountain entanglement clock for that extra die?
I can help if you
else.
do that instead.
So Tolan, you can mark a stress, and we will go to 4 dice for you there. Are you using any equipment, Dawson?
I have a bag of strange rocks and metals. Oh, okay. I have like infused like heartstone from our old mountain.
Oh, okay.
That sat in the center of its power for all of eternity. And so I'm using that to like trigger the invader response, like really ramp up the something wrong and foul is here.
Absolutely.
So our mountain would hate being infected by another mountain. That's just
absolutely. So that's 5 dice.
You going
It's almost
spiritual, Patrick?
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. Almost no chance you could fail.
I didn't manage to hit it before you said that. God, you tried real hard. It's a 5.
That is a 5. So that's just 2 ticks on the spiritual side of things. It will tick the clock over. So you will make progress, but would you like to pay a cost? Potentially? To get another tick on that clock?
No, I should have done it last time, but it'd be more worth it on a crit.
Okay. All right. So we will move up then around and come back to Dockeril.
Okay.
I feel the mountain shake now. Like real rumble here in this as Dawson cries out, and you could feel him calling the attention of the mountain down here.
Okay. So I think I'm seeing that intake of breath with the big monkey.
Hmm.
This seems like a good time to try to put it off its game.
How can we do
So
that? And is that fighting spiritual? Is it fighting physical? Is it keeping it together?
I think it's actually fighting physical here.
Okay. How do you want to do
Okay.
this?
So I am thinking that I'm trying to click to the right thing so I can look at my what best to call it. Remember that we were doing all of those looking around for plants around here and things like that, and I think that we would have found a set of let me see, herbs that would be like major irritants, that sort of thing.
Hmm.
So I think, let's see here. And yeah, probably would have put some in and soaked it up in some really bad booze, kind
Okay.
of like the still stuff. Um, and and then put it in, yeah, like have it like in a covered bucket. And I think that essentially what it is I'm going to use this one swig of strong brew. It's like soaked up in a sponge or whatever, and I'm going to like kind of tie that onto a crossbow bolt and try to, but like it's a thing that's just going to hit it in the face, right?
Okay.
But hopefully, if I'm
Probably
lucky,
more,
I get it
probably
in the
more
mouth.
likely a sling.
Yeah, oh, a sling. That's great. Yeah, I always forget that that's a thing, a sling. Yeah, and hit with that.
Okay.
So I think this would be skirmish of a sort. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so this is essentially just tastes nasty. Should irritate any tissue if it has anything living. I don't know, but is going to burn, and might put it off its game anyway.
Okay.
So
So you're starting
I
with
will-
2 dice.
I'll mark a stress to help as
3
the
dice.
Hearthguard having, I think, known that, I think we prepared this kind of as a thing. 2 of them drop down with their shields to give you a platform, lift you up so you have height to throw, get your thing off before they bring you back down behind the shield wall.
right.
Do you have any equipment you want to mark for that 4th die?
That's what I did, is the swig of strong
Oh, that's
brew.
right. Yeah. So that's 4 dice then.
Okay. So 46.
I was going to say something before you roll, but
What were you gonna say?
what was I
Will?
going to say? Let's see. I was going to say there's almost no chance that you could fail.
Why are you so mean to me? Because then I failed.
He tricked you. You stopped and you listened to him. You
know,
have to hit the button before he says it.
So that
Man.
is 1 tick.
I will
and
take a consequence.
I think that you will slide forward and your people rush up to grab you. And I think some of your scholars get
No,
hit.
no.
So
I
you would mark
resist that.
harm on your guild.
Can I resist that?
Yes, you may.
Okay, I'm gonna resist that. That sounds like I'm doing it with what skill thing? Oh, it doesn't prowess because I was skirmishing?
Yeah, that seems fair.
Okay. It peaks out at a 3.
So you take 3 stress.
All right.
You
I'm gonna
throw
need a
the
nap after
thing
this.
and smash this thing in the face. It splatters across, it gets in their eyes and stuff. And you can tell it has a very strong reaction to the alcohol. And you knew that before. Like there was a reason why those monkeys were going up and attacking the stills and stuff. It definitely, kind of chokes back a little as it gets splashed in the face with that. Tolan, what are you doing?
I'm going to use my Glimmer Tongue mead So to I want to confuse the monkeys.
Sure.
I'm going to make a sound like a very large cave drake.
Okay.
They have a very large monkey.
Absolutely. So an extra die for the brew. This does feel like convince.
That's yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
unless you have another argument to make. I'm willing to.
No, I mean convince makes the most sense.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I think I can help out with that.
How do you
As
want to do that?
I will hand you a crystal carved with runes as I pull out one of my Hollow Shout runes, which will just like its megaphone, like
Oh, even better.
amplify
Yeah.
whatever you're gonna shout through it.
Yes.
So
cool.
now we have 3 dice.
All right. Excellent. And which track is this? It feels like spiritual, but
Yeah,
it could,
that seems
it's
fine.
kind of the opposite. It's kind of like fighting their keep it together.
I think spiritual or keeping it together
Okay.
is either one is good. So a 4,
Cool.
so that's going to be 2 ticks, unless you would like to pay a cost.
I'm getting low on stress here. Yeah, let's hear the cost.
So I think that the cost is going to be that at like as you are there doing that, you will kind of see some of these monkeys start to pour in, and you will see a figure step in the way and get taken down. And you can see that Nabail has followed along with you. And they didn't want to come, but they have, and they jump in the way to protect you.
Oh man, I gotta resist that. That's
Okay.
Okay. What am I resisting?
That feels
this
like prowess
with?
to resist that.
Yeah, I think this is me just grabbing them and getting them out of the way.
Right. So just one
5.
stress
All right.
to
I'm
pull them back.
Still in the scene.
And they are sort of like maybe regretting their decision, but you are able to do that. So that was 2 on fighting spiritual. So we get another one. So it goes up to, so we're at 4 out of 6 on the fighting spiritual track there. Which in this chaos, the monkeys are still pushing in to that sort of thing. The exorcists are working along, trying to keep their focus together. Grunheld.
I think as we're seeing the big monkey coming up, this is maybe our moment to unleash the rune on the shields. So I yell the order for them to say whatever that trigger word, and so in one deep bellow, the dwarves of the shield wall utter in unison, and that glow of the illumination floods out towards this giant monkey.
So
I think that's going to be command.
Okay, that seems good. An extra die for the shield rune.
I'm extra die for the shield rune. I'm doing my second a few guild members. Patrick did a wonderful job of putting a whole bunch of things back on, but I don't have a second use of that, so I'm just going to put heirloom gear in to fill the space.
So one of those will get you an extra die, and the other one will raise your effect level.
I can't do
Can't get 2 extra dice with items. You can do 1 to increase your effect
Oh,
level,
I got you.
and which is fine, and 1 of them will give you an extra die.
Can I not? Isn't the guild capable of just using when you activate it, having one of its options just be an extra die?
Right. So what one of them will be, you can use the extra die for 1. Do you want it from the guild or do you want it from the shield runes?
I'd
You
want
can't use 2 pieces of supply to get 2 extra dice. You can use it 1 piece of supply to get an extra die, and then if you use another piece of supply or thing, you can raise the
it
effect
would
level.
push up my effect, which
Yeah.
would that would mean my result would do better. Is that what that ends up doing?
So right now you'd be
Okay.
rolling 2 dice if someone helped you or you took a devil's bargain. Which I could certainly give you a devil's
Do
bargain
the
here.
runes count in my supply, or they just be
They don't count towards your
triggering
stuff,
what I
but
did to
they
plus?
act like a free supply that you
Acts like a
prepared.
free supply.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Anybody got any help left?
Sure,
If
I'll
not-
help you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we're at 3 dice, and we bump up the result level by 1.
All right. Here we go.
So that's a 6, becomes a critical success. And what aspect is that? Is that physical? Is that
spiritual? This
spiritual?
is that those runes going at the big monkey.
Okay. So progress track goes to 3 out of 6. And the spiritual clock ticks over to the mid-range to 3 on that as this flash goes off, as those runes are expended, and there is a cry from the monkey as this happens, a shout of a roar of pain here. And monkey see, monkey go. Monkey only gets 2 ticks, but that's enough to get to 4. Who fought last on the physical? Let's see.
That's me, I think.
So Dagriel, I think for a second, as he's going along, you have a sudden panic feeling of fear at the pit of your stomach as you see what you think might be Fishbainina in and amongst the skirmish. Would you like to resist that?
I would like to, but I don't have enough stress to. So I don't know.
You could gamble on it. I mean, you could roll a 6 for resist, not spend any stress.
Oh, God. But it's unlikely because it's me. Why have you done this to me?
Someone else could resist the consequence. Someone else could resist the consequence for you.
Guys. I have 2 left.
Yeah, I also have 2 left.
I'll take the consequence on myself.
Okay. Then go ahead and roll.
Resolve.
It seems to me like prowess or resolve would be the perfect one for that.
I'll go with resolve.
Okay.
You'll get an XP for that.
Yes.
Okay. 6.
1. So it's
0
1
cost.
stress you take.
1?
Because he rolled 2 5s and a 2.
Oh, I thought he.
Oh, I thought it was a 6. Oops, sorry,
No,
I looked at it wrong. It's a 5.
So take 1 stress, and I think that there is this moment that you look and you realize, no, that's just something the Monkey King was doing, pulling out your fears there, bringing out your panic there. But
and when I realize it, I'm relieved, but I still have to go throw up in the corner. So there you go. That was.
And the Monkey King does breathe out, and this blackish, horrible mist is rolling through the group of you. Somebody's guild needs to mark a harm. Whose guild is going to mark a harm?
I can mark it. I've used mine up.
Okay. And that is, I think it's that the Hearth Guard, like you can see them as this mist hits. They're like their veins pop, and you can see them wild-eyed and trying to control themselves to not go into a wrath, not go into just anger and rage here. They're keeping themselves set there, but you can see the toll that is taking on them.
Hold steady.
We come around to the next round. Actually, let's take just a quick 5-minute bio break, not to break up the momentum too much, but I want to give people a chance to get beverages and so on, and then we'll continue on. So we tick one over, and on this round, the spiritual fighting is about halfway. At 3 out of 6, physical fighting is at 2. Keeping it together is at 3. The progress track is at 3 out of 6. If the monkey had been stronger, he would be further along on the track. I could have been halfway, if not more. But even with the rising number of dice he's getting, I still can only get mixed success because this is Forged in the Dark. But let's see how it goes. Dogriel, what do you want to work on here?
I think, let's see here, probably keeping it together because we just had that big panic. And let's see here, what are my options?
Yeah, what are you doing to do that?
Yeah, keeping it together. I think I'm probably going to use, I've skirmished enough that I am familiar with the call and response that people do in battle to call out to the other units, like what their condition is and all of that stuff. So I will sort of put up the flag to start that like all the units, because we've all just had that scare. So that kind of regrouping of like doing the assessment of how you're doing and calling out will be helpful if everyone, or if most of the folks can. So this is what the roll will be, is if we can do it, will that keep them together?
That's 2 dice for skirmish. And do you have any supply left to help you?
I didn't realize it, but the brew thing was cost 2 for some reason. I suppose because it was supposed to be some artisanal thing.
We have lots of treasure. If you need mark a treasure, get 2 more supply.
Okay, I will mark a treasure. Or someone who's faster at the draw can mark it. We do. Thank you, Patrick. And I will do that to get another die. So yeah. And 3d6.
3d6.
Got a 5.
So a 5. So that is 2 ticks on that clock. So it is 5 out of 6 there, unless you'd like to pay a cost.
I can't resist it. So I will pay a cost as long as it's a cost upon me.
That's not a choice you get to ask for, my lady.
Oh, well, you're so unkind. It would finish it out, though, wouldn't it?
It would.
I'll take a cost.
Then I think mark harm on your scholars. I do think that there is as you're calling through, there is a shifting of the lines, and some of those monkeys get in and amongst them. And while your scholars are fighters, these things are vicious beasts. But it doesn't break the lines. Even with the injuries that they suffer, they stay together there and keep their wits about them, even as their robes and their papers are bloodied and torn. Tolan.
Yeah. So, putting these things together here. I one of the hone like examples is channel the raw ingredients inert magical properties with limited precision. And I happen to have in my supply a rare stone or gem with potential, and I think this is one of the like partially finished runes that we found in that workshop.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was being made to deal with these monkeys that had recently become a problem because their people summoned this. It's not done. I
Mm-hmm.
can tell it's not done. Like it's just sort of scratched on the surface, but you know what? It's here. I have it. I'm going to use it.
So that's 3d6.
Yep.
And is this on the physical track or the spiritual track?
Spiritual. I don't think I know for sure what it's going to do. Like I
Okay.
know it's supposed to do something to fight these monkeys, but I think it's spiritual. Yeah.
3d6. So that is going to be 2 ticks on that clock, unless you'd like to suffer a consequence.
Let's see here. Oh, that would
bump it up
take
to
it
6
up.
and can be
that would
completed.
click it over, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as Sherry here. I only have 2 left. Yeah, give me a consequence.
Okay, then that'll push it up to a 6. That'll finish that off, which will take it back to a 0, which means the progress track is at a 5. But I think that you channel that energy out, and there is a crackle of it as it winds back through, and you will feel something of that Monkey King spirit rush back up through it, and you need to mark a dazed.
Okay, yeah.
Does that seem
I can't
fair?
resist it. So yeah, that absolutely seems fair. Yep.
Grunheld. Progress is being made. The Monkey King is pushed back. The exorcists are working. You can see the sigils and the signs in the air. They are pushing things forward.
Yep.
It's the physical fighting left, unless you want to start on the spiritual or keeping it together track. But the physical's
Makes
already
sense to go physical.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to spend a treasure.
Okay.
So I can open up some space as I pull out my massive great axe. As I rush up to the shield wall. Now is the time. Press the beast back. And we're gonna charge.
Okay.
And yeah, Patrick, I'm going to injure myself.
Mark 2 harm.
And that's automatic. I can't use any armor on that.
Correct.
So I'll take injured, and I wouldn't mind being able to still talk. So I think I'm going to take injured and exhausted.
So you will leap up. You will smash into this monkey. I think that we see the like a waterfall of the lesser monkeys falling off the cliff as they're pushed back by the force of the shield, and you come leaping through, and you will get that axe up and you will bring that down, and like you'll hit it solid. And it's as you do that those exorcists, like they've been waiting for their breach moment, and they will let loose, and you will see this thing pulled, this black and red spirit yanked out of the split skull of this thing, and the body of it starts to turn brown and gray as it falls and shrivels back like a giant monkey's paw. The whole thing shriveling as the exorcists grab forward and are hanging on and are dragging the monkeys, the spirit together. Dazin, you see Mira take a step forward as this is going on, and you see her put her hands on Lubeck's shoulder, and you can tell what is about to happen unless something is stopped. She is about to push him off the cliff while no one is looking. You're the only one who sees it. What do you do?
These are those human mages who Tullen really likes for some reason. I probably shouldn't let them get broken. He'd be all upset or something.
Well, this is one of their own doing it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, yes.
The one we like.
This is
compared to the one we
Dawson.
don't.
But what is Dawson's immediate reaction?
I think Tullen's going to be too upset if one of them breaks, and this makes them all mad. And what if they don't come talk to us anymore?
And it's not much. It's you stepping forward, kind of putting yourself, intruding into the line of vision there. It's a step, and her hand comes back off, and it looks like nothing occurred. It looks like nothing happened. No one is the wiser, except perhaps you and her know what was about to occur there. And there is like a screeching, and the last of these monkeys, you see them rushing off down, scattered, unmastered, not driven by these spirits, but they rush away into their bolt holes in the other corners and ends of this. And I think you see the little drakes are out and breathing flames to cleanse paths and spaces here, to start to decontaminate this horrible, foul zone. But the Monkey King is dead. The exorcists have this spirit. They will wrap it up in their lines of force, and then you will see them put it into essentially a metal vessel that is sealed, that they will take with them as your group pours out from the depths of here. I do think that in going around through here and looking through the bits and things, you'll find 2 treasure worth of goods. It takes a while to clean it. Like it's a good work of the rest of the season to clean this stuff, but you are able to do that. And I think that you can mark an additional reputation from this, as word of this will get out and be carried in many places. Some of you are battered. Some of your guilds are battered. Some people have a goblin friend who's furious at being left behind and being fooled. There's no circus.
I will arrange a circus.
But the group of you can come back out, and this first expedition of the season is done.
First.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm
one thing-
bleeding everywhere.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
gosh.
That's it. I do think that though I do pull Aiken and wear it if I can aside and tell them that I am pretty sure that Lubeck and his little circle know something about this that they weren't letting on. Um, and that they may be in a better position to figure out what that is. I will check my notes.
Weir will say it does not surprise me that they may have other information. The towers that he came from hoarded knowledge. But I think there's a chance for some activations to do some healing now, right?
That'd be cool.
So let's see. You have.
Wait, don't we have to wait until the end of the season for that?
Yeah.
I am assuming that you are not doing another expedition.
Okay.
I
Um,
think
Would have
that's
to be a
fair.
very easy expedition.
but we do need to do like some scenes afterwards in the aftermath, and then we do have the actual entanglements for this season that I get to put out before you.
I think we're all just gonna go and lay on our cots for a while. And then you can... I mean, I have a lovely bed, but I'm gonna lay on a cot because that's what you do when you're
So I will
wiped
tell
out.
you the details of the two events for the that will occur throughout the next few months here, and we'll do a scene, and we can call scenes and stuff. One of them is exciting. The other is exciting, but in a very different way.
No.
It is a couple of months after these monkeys have been cleared out. Some of the exorcists spend some more time here, a smaller group of them, to kind of make sure that everything is fine. There's always one of Lubeck's people that stays. Mira always stays. You definitely get the sense that he's going to, like, at some point demand that she return back. And the sense you get from her is that she's going to have to. But there is a group that's of dwarves that are exploring down there, probably laborers from Toland's group, and maybe some scouts from Dawson's group. And where Toland and Dawson, you're up in the upper chambers when there comes this hue and cry and noise, and you will see a kind of mixed group of your laborers and scouts come up into the upper chambers, into the settlement quarter, and they are riding these giant moles. They are riding these up into here, and you can see that they've got 2 or 3 of them, and they've found them, and they're riding these things up. They're not like regular moles, but that's the closest you can imagine for them. You know that these are, you've never had them in your mountain settlement, but you've heard about them in other places, that some mountains have had these, and it is, let's see here, is that I think that it is Glodin Iron Skull, your assistant Toland, who's kind of at the lead of this, and they will say, we found a pocket of these. They clearly had kind of moved back in with the absence of the monkeys. There may be more of them. They were fairly easy to get, into riding. They're pretty docile, and food seems to motivate them strongly.
What do they eat?
We just had like our sandwiches and rolls and sausages and such, and they ate all of it.
Not
Mind you, their
picky.
breath was
Good.
much, much worse after they ate the sausages.
This is excellent. I
What
mean,
what color are these moles, Tolan?
I mean, let's go weird and say purple.
Okay, yeah, kind of a mix from a deepish purple to more of a light violet. They've got this color to them. It's just absurd and unusual. I think that because they have those weird kind of dark things, actually their eyes are pure white. Um, and Gladden will invite you to try to ride one of these.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think that this will be, a pleasant surprise at the mid-year for everyone, the arrival of these domesticated things. But it is later in the year when the turning of sort of the season point is the longest night, that day when night holds sway, the longest it is marked and known, and it is inevitably a night when all of the moons are essentially new moon, and the sky is black, and there is a noise outside of the settlement, a kind of a roar that echoes through the veil through there, and there are a group of dwarves that come down from the tavern in the fields, and they will arrive, and they are panicked, and they will tell you, we could not see it because there is no light. It is dark, but there were glints, glimmers, and a foul smell. And we saw a giant thing. It was brown black against the sky. Its wings, horrible. It swept down. It circled the valley twice. And then we saw it land in that place where the old dwarven ruins that we saw a day out from here, that we haven't had a chance to explore. No one has looked into them, but it landed there, and it was a dragon.
A dragon.
Well, this will be interesting.
So that's the two entanglements for this year.
Moles and dragon.
Yes, we've got a couple of emotes there now that we can have.
Dragon.
So let's do another round of people calling scenes at some point during the year, either with another PC or with an NPC, to kind of flesh out some things before we go to end of year, and we do the healing and the downtime actions and all of that stuff. So let's start with Tolan. I think we, in terms of the starting place, Tolan, what scene would you like to call? What would you like to have at some point during this span of time of this year 7?
There are many possibilities here. Let's see. Let me look at my list of rabbit holes that I have not yet finished. I know there was something that I wanted to do. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the mountain has been seeming increasingly annoyed with us for a while. And I think at some point Tullen remembers what our Tengu friend said about that, which is ask the mountain what it wants. And I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Let's have you roll for that. What do you think the roll is?
It's probably gonna be Stone Speak, I would guess. Yeah, that'll be Stone Speak.
Okay. Do you want to spend stress to get an extra die?
Oh no, I'd have to spend 2 stress, and that is 2 stress. That's how many blanks I have left.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're losing money not spending it.
Are people able maybe to help during these little downtime things?
Yeah, I would say people want to mark a stress, but just have to tell me how.
Right, the appropriate way.
Yeah, and if you have any supply left, if you have, you could also use that.
Put them all supply too.
I don't know. Would you have come to me and let me know you were doing this?
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
know if you would.
you're
Would
the
you?
you're the Thane, and this is like this. I think this is a known fact at this point that the mountain is kind of like we're not sure how to deal with the mountain. It seems unpredictable and temperamental. So I think yeah, I absolutely would go to Grunheld and be like, well, hey, here is my thought. I'm going to ask the mountain what to do.
I think you probably find me. I'm bandaged, and I'm not getting out right now. So you do have to come to me, and kind of labored and injured. This happened back in our old home as well. The mountain would be while the mountain had different feelings and opinions, it was not the same as this one. Sometimes it needed to be placated. I would hear of rights being made. Going before it, you should be simply a supplicant. You should also try to. It does not wish to see you weak before it. Go as a friend. We are the people of the mountain. It will recognize that, Tolan. And I'm helping. That's coming off my host.
Yeah, so you can gain an extra die for that assistance. So that's 2 dice.
Good. Yeah. Four.
4. So I think that there is a vision that you will have of the mountain, that it gives you an insight, a look into the ways of the old mountain, and it shows you the old temple. Shows you the old temple of the mountain, what it looked like, how it was shaped, how it appeared, and you can see that it is either in the area with the lava or adjacent to it. Like, clearly that sort of earth blood means something to the mountain, and that it would like a temple built there.
All right.
So we have that on depth 3. We have a building space there, or you could explore the adjacent space to it. Does that seem fair?
All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
Grunheld, what do we see of you? What's your scene here for this year?
It's Lyra, right? That was with the humans. Is that her name?
Mira?
Mira, I
Mira.
thought.
Mira. I'm going to, under the concept that eventually, here fairly soon, she's going to be called home. I'm going to invite her to come and speak with me. I don't know if she's willing to accept it. I can't go, so it's going to have
No,
to be
if you
her
ask her
see
to
me.
come, she will come to where you are at.
And it will be kind of rather than a big audience-y chamber or anything like that, I'm setting a more homey scene. I will be kind of wrapped in furs. You can tell that I'm getting over my injuries, sort of thing. I will use my supply to bring out my fancy tea set. I don't know if she's a smoker, so I'll go with my fancy tea set. And sit down to talk with her. I can't express how much you and your people have helped mine.
This was a problem and it needed to be dealt with.
But
I'm glad that you and your people had the good sense to come to us.
I am glad as well. But it does not change the fact that we are in your debt.
True.
You, in particular, your people would not have helped us had it not been for you. I could see that when we first met.
I actually disagree with you on that. I think any of us would have recognized the danger that was present here. I think you really need to understand that what was occurring here is something that any of my people would have considered a serious problem, a danger to everyone who lives in the area, and a danger to us. Mind you, they might not have acted with the alacrity and haste that I did, the unseemly haste with which I acted.
I would say it was most seemly. It certainly gave enormous and much needed morale to those of us here in our home. My gratitude is to your people. My thanks are to you. You are a friend to Carrick Minor. You are my friend. Have you needs? I will be there for you.
That seems reasonable. There is no doubt that at some point we will have need of the assistance of Carrick Minor, and we will call in that debt at that time.
We will be here to hear. I would hope that we could begin somewhat more of conversation between our peoples, a meeting point where we do not invade into your space, but where we can keep an open dialogue.
Certainly, I have spoken to others and the prince, and it is we will see about trade. We can provide some resources to you, and certainly the metalcraft and such that you and your people provide is important to what we do, the raw materials for the crafting that we do.
That is good to hear. I don't want to pry too deeply, but will you destroy the spirit?
As you would understand it, yes, in the sense that it will go back where it cannot be readily summoned or taken or used, these things are part of the world. It is a spirit of wrath. These are the kinds of things that acting to actually actively destroy it, and you could, will bring it back onto you twicefold. I suspect, and I am not certain, that may have been part of the problem that occurred here. There may have been an attempt to dispose of things without realizing how they rebound. If these things need to be returned back to the upper airs, it is potent enough that it belongs in the celestial sphere, in the crystals in the lattice of the upper airs, rather than down here where it is too close to the waters that run under the world.
I'm nodding like I understand. Well, I leave that in your capable hands, and what you have done here, you have helped us avenge our lost. If we discover anything more of what caused this to begin with, we will let you know. Perhaps it will be information that can help you. If not, then know that your people's name will be written in the annals of our history as friends of Carrick Minor.
If you have concerns about the disposal of this spirit, I would invite you to send a representative next year. When
may I send two? I know that Gabriel and Dawson would both appreciate.
The vessel that we will use to travel the under rivers, we do not have a great deal of space on it.
I see.
So you will have to select.
Would be the ones who need most to record that.
We will be using one of those to travel to a deep point to carry out this disposal.
Then Founder Dawson, I'm sorry, Dagriel will be sent as our representative.
I will check in next year before we do it to make sure that Dagriel is still alive and that this can be carried out.
Thank you. And please, you've hardly touched your tea. Let me freshen it. And these nibbly bits, very sweet. Honey.
I do appreciate the nibbly bits, as you call them. They are very tasty. I am not as fond of the bitterness of the tea that you serve here. Oh. I do not mean that to be offensive, but it is.
I certainly understand. Would you care for a beer?
Oh, no. But I appreciate that. I just merely wanted to clarify my position on the tea.
We will not be sending any as trade then.
Good. Let's come to Dawson.
I think I want to have a scene with Talon and the Spiritualist Society, the drinking club of supernaturalists, at the brewery. Now that things are safer there.
Oh yes, once beer is spoken of, you can gather the scholars together as such very quickly.
And if this is several months down the road, can we have like? I want to have retrieved the Monkey King's skull. Is that a possibility, or is that going to be something?
I think we've described the sort of the horrible giant kaiju-sized monkey as being desiccated like like a preserved monkey, like monkey's paw style. So yeah, I think you can go down and pick up this horrible thing. The head is probably the size of you.
Nice. Then yeah, in the middle of the brewery, there is just this like stripped and clean skull, like angry screaming monkey mouth with teeth. As I wanted to try and discuss with them the best ways to clean this and cleanse it and turn it around into something that we can use to help mollify the spirits of the mountain, which for
You
reasons have
understand it
been.
is a distorted, mutated, horrible monkey skull. I mean, this is not like a bouquet of flowers. You understand?
Uh, well, yes, that's why this is a process. We're not dedicating a shrine around it now. That would be ridiculous and probably insult the mountain more. And people who can say who have been insulting the mountain a lot recently.
You don't think using the monkey skull at all is perhaps offensive to the mountain?
You don't think working to undo and reverse an ancient evil that has been festering and infecting the mountain for generations would help?
Oh, I think that's true, but I think the monkey skull is an entirely different matter.
I think the best symbolically, the way to do that would be to remove the monkey corpse altogether, put it outside the mountain. We could use the skull as a warning sign.
That is pretty terrifying.
Maybe if we made some sort of recreation or representation of.
You want to like taxiderm the monkey body?
Well, I mean, not if you all think it's just going to be make everything worse, but carving.
So here's yeah, I think here's my concern, says this scholar. My concern. I like I like the idea of getting the skull out of here and outside and being all spooky and building a statuary for it that like we could carve like a big monkey body, and that'd be good. Have the skull on it. Because I don't think we want to do the whole monkey body because like we've got like enemy necromancers nearby. And so I was thinking, I don't want a big animated skeletal monkey
yeah.
coming in and attacking us in the night. It's the other reason why I'd like to get the skull out of here.
Well, we've heard a lot from
I had not thought
Professor.
about that.
What was your name again?
Fig.
Yes, well, we've heard a lot about what he thinks books say. Tolan, what do you think the mountain might say?
I also think we should remove the monkey from the mountain altogether. But to your point, maybe we could make that chamber into something else, something the mountain would appreciate.
The space itself. Yes, we could dig it out. It looked rather unpleasant.
It would take some work. I think most people here are inclined to just wall it up and never go there again, but
how does any of that help any of us? Closing off this chamber, forgetting about what happened, disposing of the skeleton and pretending that nothing was ever here? Changes nothing. That just sets us in the
we don't
same
have to
loop
pretend.
that caused this problem.
We could probably include some sort of mural on the wall of whatever we do with this chamber and warning of how likely you think this is to happen again.
Well, in the sense of geological
It's not a
time,
rhetorical question.
in the sense of the universe and eras passing, it will almost certainly happen again. Everything happens again. Everything has already happened before. That's why it happens.
I was thinking a little less broadly than that.
I mean, it probably won't happen before next Tuesday.
Perhaps the time span of your lifetime? Put that as a
That's a more of the scale, yes. Or well, no, I guess it makes more sense that our grandchildren's lifetimes.
Well, that's the thing, though. We're not building something for us. We're not building something for our grandchildren. We're building something for the dwarves that come 1,000 years after us. So forgetting is not the way, but a memorial. Something to commemorate, something to remind, and show a different way forward.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And then Dagro will probably turn it into another library, which also would be helpful.
Have you seen that she started just carving her name into the baseboards along the tunnels?
Dagriel's Memorial Battle
Just gonna
Park.
replace that rune of the the shaman clan.
This is all a lie. Someone else is going around and doing that. I mean, I don't scuff it out or anything, but that's
Professor Fig, like this. So we're not going to use the skull as effigy inside here then.
No, that's
Oh, good.
that
You
was
see him.
clearly a terrible
He'd
idea.
been rolling up his sleeves. You see him now start to roll them back down and take the
We're
hand.
going to
off.
use it as a giant effigy outside.
That's fine. That's fine. Good. All right. Buttons his sleeve. Shirt back up.
You're about to defend his thesis.
I was about to defend my thesis. I've got a couple beers in me, so I was about to defend my thesis. Yeah, and you can certainly get that skull out and cleaned, and then look at how to prepare it outside. Dagriel, what about you?
oh, let's just be realistic. I am paying penance for having promised Fishbainina that the circus is coming, and everything I am doing is making that right again. So
Okay.
that is
How are you spoiling Fishbainina to absolve your crimes?
I think that essentially we have been writing a play, like and it's a musical, of course, because Fishbainina can sing. And it's going to feature Fishbainina in a major role. But essentially, it's very much sort of a retelling of the monkey in the deep. And it's interesting because it's Fishbainina's version of what has happened, which is somewhat more, I would say, ahistorical might be other than that, but it is a pretty fun story, and mostly we've been hashing out the songs and getting people that will sing them. The thing is that Fishbainina is really, really set on trying to convince the Hearthguard to be sort of the choir throughout all of it, and they keep quibbling with the lyrics. So it's a thing back and forth where we're negotiating. Yeah, it's all my negotiating skills right there. That's what I'm thinking.
Who amongst the settlement outside of the PCs, what NPC has the best singing voice?
Oh, that's a really good question. Ooh. I'm gonna have to go with. Well, I mean, the centaur has a fine tenor voice. You could not not fight that. But I think that if you're going for a base, uh, if we can get Trillian back in, because he came to visit, and that is the traitor diplomat that's a friend of Grunheld's.
He comes back and forth. Yeah.
No,
Exactly. If
he's actually
we
one
could-
of our founders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh, dang
Yeah.
it! Dang
Yeah,
it! Dang it!
he's the founder. Yeah,
Oh, he's
but
your.
yeah, he's with us
he's
all
your
the time.
thing. Okay, so.
You
all right.
certainly could use him. Yeah, because he's
Oh
here all the
yeah,
time.
it turns out that your rival is like the most amazing base, and is key to all of my machinations is to get this
So
up.
Merdwin,
No,
Greenhill's
no,
rival.
it's Trillian, rival of Old Home.
Oh,
It was
yes.
a friend of Grunheld, rival of Old Home. I'm not sure. There's a traitor diplomat.
That he was from the other dwarven settlement that was a rival to your old settlement.
Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So so I guess he comes by now and again. So we are essentially
He's usually out trading, but yes, he comes by.
yeah. So we're like trying to arrange for him to come to sing like one of the important parts, and he like keeps on stopping when he's singing the lyrics and going, "This is ridiculous. This could
This is-
possibly
this is
happen."
I do not think that this song is accurately representing what occurred.
You'd be amazed at how accurate it is.
All right. Dawson quivered in fear.
I did not write that lyric. There's asterisks all throughout the book, so who wrote what? But anyway, it's just kind of it's the songs are really good. That is, I am very pleased with how they're coming out.
I like
So,
that.
But that is what we have been doing.
Awesome. Let us move to downtime actions. I am going to tick up our entanglement tracks.
Wait, more?
Yeah, because we do that with things. You got reputation, you got your treasure, but it also means that entanglement tracks go up. I do think we're going to put 2 ticks on that. Put 1 tick on that. Activate buildings. Which buildings need to be activated to heal which persons and guilds?
We should do the brewery first to get the 10 off, because that one might get multiple stuff.
Okay, so the brewery, do a 10 action at settlement tier. So we are at tier 2. So go ahead and somebody roll 2d6.
Brunhild, you suggested it.
All right. 2d6. Boop, boop. Boop. I got a 6.
6. So I believe that's 3 people can be tended to. Am I remembering that right, Patrick?
Yeah, 3 injuries. So if folks
Oh,
are
wow, yeah.
okay, I will drop both of mine first.
And then we can heal
But
the
if someone
scholars.
has
Can we?
anyone injury on something else,
Do
take
you
that
have
last
one,
one.
Tolan?
Have one, and I think it's the Scholars is the only guild that has harm.
my
Yeah.
guild has
That's-
one as well.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Oh, then yeah, we could also mark the Dagriel Memorial Infirmary for that last one.
But Tolan, you have an actual injury,
Yes.
so that would be our 3rd. And since I've already taken 2, Dagriel, go ahead and heal your people with the infirmary, and mine
Okay.
will just have to stay injured right now.
Well, we keep them busy singing. It's good for them.
Yeah, that helps them stop being.
Let me say this before you do that. You could spend a treasure, and then that would have 5 ticks.
Oh yeah.
Spend the
Yeah.
treasure.
Spend the
Let's get 'em
treasure,
all
heal
done.
everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody's healed.
That's much better.
All right. Treasure spent looks like good.
So that does all of that. We'll talk about the trade stuff. Is there anything else that anybody wants to activate? Doesn't look like there's anything else that would be appropriate. We'll get to the other stuff when we get to treasure trade.
Okay.
So let's talk about downtime activities.
Oh boy.
Let's start with we started with Dagger on this last one. So Tolan, what would you like to do for your first downtime activity?
I should probably do something about these 7 stress boxes.
Really?
Yeah. Otherwise, I would be completely useless on the next mission. So,
So
yeah,
indulge
thinking about it.
obsession. Why don't you describe kind of what that looks like this time? Like, what is your obsession this time?
Yeah, I think I have been I think it's just like trying not to be too obvious about like examining all of these wonderful mechanical familiars that have been around.
Oh yeah, we still got those down in there. Yeah. That seems fair to me. What is your lowest attribute?
2.
2. Okay.
Yeah, I got a 3.
So that you'll clear 3 stress.
Yeah, much better.
That brings us to Grunheld. What do you want to do for your first downtime action?
I'm going to relieve stress.
Okay.
And that's going to be a process of having a little quick conversation with Trillian and our let me find her correct name. Yes, Saruke. Where individually I'll have a little dinner with them. With Trillian, you're often going your vote, maybe. If you don't, would you mind overmuch? Perhaps I'll take your proxy in your absence, try and convince him of that. Don't know if he'll agree or not, but should there be necessity and your absence, our old friendship, surely you know well you can trust that I am always working in your best interest. And then with Saruke, it is, of course, it seems that having a firm hand at the tiller, someone that can be depended on over the long haul, will be important in our settlement. We have these votes for who is Thane yearly, and thus far it has quietly passed, but I hope I can depend upon your continued support just to make sure we have consistency here inside of Garrick Minor.
Absolutely. I think your politicking and that sort of quiet greed for control seems like a good obsession. Something
Good
that if people
horde.
were to realize what you're doing, they might be upset. Yeah. Let's have you roll. What's your lowest?
2.
2. So roll 2d6.
I got a 3.
3. Dozen.
I should probably clear some of my
What?
stress.
What does your obsession look like?
Um. I think Dozen like keeps going down and exploring that chamber, the big monkey pit. And I don't know. He's like trying to see what's there and see what could be cleared out, and trying to do what he can to discourage monkeys from moving back in.
So just kind of obsessively focused on that. Okay. Let's have you roll. What's your lowest?
I don't have a lowest. They're all 2. Uh, 4.
4. That's not bad. And Dogriel, what do you want for your first?
I definitely need to work on my stress. I'm very,
Ooh,
very,
yeah.
very, very messed up.
7 out of 9.
Yeah, I kind of think that there's a point at which, uh, like, let's see here. Let's say, oh, how about Brownthorn Thistle comes back through? And I talk him into letting me come out and see how he works. That's my wander. Is essentially it's an excuse to just get out, and get away from things, and traipse through places I wouldn't go otherwise with by myself.
Okay.
Does that seem like a
Yeah,
good
kind of
fit for that?
potentially neglecting your work, particularly getting drawn off that way. That seems fair.
Exactly.
Let's
So,
have you roll.
okay.
Your lowest is a 2.
No, this is a 2. So that means that's what I roll. 2d6. I got a 5.
That gets you down to 2.
Yay, that was best roll I've made so far this game on this.
Brunheld. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. It's Ethan first on the go back round. Ethan, what would you like for your second downtime action?
I think I will get started on building that temple.
Okay. So gonna build it in that lava-filled cavern.
Yeah.
Building 2 there.
Yep.
All right. So that is let me get this building thing here. That is a tier 2 building. So that is a 5-segment clock. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, I think that would be craft,
That craft feels good.
which means I get like I think I get. Yes, I do get another die for that. I always forget that.
From for artisan thing.
Yeah, my and I guess
Hey, you could push yourself. Mark 2 stress and get another die.
I just wiped out to nah.
I will mark 1 to
Yeah,
help
6
you
and-
with the temple design, though.
Okay. So
I just rolled and I got a 6. I'm not sure.
But
I mean,
if
let's-
you rolled and got another 6, then you'd get a critical and it'd
That's
be
true.
done.
That is true. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Oops. Wait, that's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. No.
But 3 ticks on the clock there. Now, mind you, you could spend a treasure to boost that up to a critical.
That is true.
And have it be done.
Yeah, you know what? Let's get something actually done.
Okay. So that temple is complete. So everybody is on the same page. The temple has a special ability to it, which you can use starting next year. And let's see, where is that? It allows you to pray. You get to dedicate to allow a new downtime action. And what people can do is pray and reduce the mountain entanglements track by 1.
Nice.
Good when you've hit those breakpoints.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, tell me something about this temple, Tolan, and then I'll ask Dawson to tell me something about this temple, since Dawson helped with the planning.
It's built around basically an arched bridge because we have to sort of work around the lava and the hot points where, and find places where people can actually be. And I think one of the cooler areas, you have to cross a, actual like lava flowing. So it's headed at this bridge anyway. And then, the design we came up with looks pretty nice. So I think like that's sort of the central, it's built all around this bridge.
I like it. And what else, Dawson, do we know about this temple?
I think we've worked it to rechannel some of the lava flow so that the temple has a lighting / water feature that is like this constant magma flow down
Nice.
the back of it.
I love it. It is fantasy lava, so it works like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Will never change, always flows at the same rate, never
Yeah.
builds up. It's great.
Excellent. So now I come to Grunheld for your second downtime action.
Yes. I am going to start a bakery.
Bakery.
Yes.
Where are you building that bakery?
Let's build it. I'd like it underground because that's so much safer. Let's do the Stony Caverns.
Hey.
Yeah,
So
that'll be
that is
fine.
a 4-tick
Yeah.
thing.
All right. Let's see what I'm gonna use here. I don't know if I can do a good job with host on that. I think it's more going to be a convince.
Yeah.
It's the idea of us kind of working away from that individual flower, people making their own, to this idea of a more communal bakery. Everyone can come in. So it's just, helping people come to the realization we shouldn't, have this all separated. We can come together, have a bakery. Everyone goes to get their bread. A little change in idea.
That seems great.
Okay. I don't have good thing. I'm out of stuffs. This is downtime. Would that be considered diplomacy amongst my people?
I think that's pushing it.
I agree. All right. So I'm rolling 2 dice. Roll well. I got a 4.
Got a 4, so that's 2 ticks out of 4, so you're halfway done on that. Dawson.
Yes.
What would you like to do?
I want to start a research project.
Okay. 4.
I want to start working on a new rune that will allow me to dedicate a clay body for someone else to hook into.
Interesting. And why hasn't that been a thing before? I mean, because we know that the clay body thing is a thing that people know how to do for themselves. What has prevented it from being a thing, a rune that has been created before this?
I think it has traditionally needed that like years of dedication and experience, that like honing your soul and the clay into the same thing sort of expertise.
So it's
something
just
that could
because
be-
you're smarter than other dwarves? That seems a little weak for me. Like what's another
No,
reason?
like it's the experience with Stone Speak. It's I don't know. It's I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, well, we'll come back to that. Let's set up the clock, but we'll talk about like what might be other reasons why it hasn't been a developed technology before this. We'll talk about that next time. Um, oh, let me see. What is the page that rune thing is on? Do you have that at hand?
Negotiating for inventions is 175.
Thank you. So let's see. There's great smithing. Okay. So we'll talk. So it was what rare, strange, or adverse aspects of the design have kept in obscurity? Okay, that's the question.
Gotcha. I think again it comes down to that connection. The reason it hasn't been done before is the lack of a material that will force that connection, create that connection without like high levels of stone speak.
Okay.
And I was wondering if the moon milk, the milk from the moon, might be a unique ingredient to include in that.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, if you found that has a thing that allows you to do that, yeah.
Like mixing it in the clay.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So something that would be like I would be able to make a limited number of these.
It'd be kind of unique.
So yeah, let's say then that I think the drawback is consumable. Like you can't make many of these right now unless you get another incredibly unique supply.
Mhm.
Uh so
Could I make
that
like a half dozen?
how about 4?
Okay.
Is that a compromise? Does that sound good? And then we'll just do the consumable as a drawback and not put any other drawback on it. Does that seem fair?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that is still like this is a big thing. So I think this is an 8-segment clock.
All right. Um. And what tier is it going to end up at? Just so I know for like replicating it in the future.
I think when you craft it, we roll to see what the tier is, right?
Oh.
Because crafting it requires a downtime action done with the appropriate action rating.
Gotcha. Oh, I got you. We see like what
Yeah,
I make the theory, and then we see like how I come out with the actual practice. I got you.
100%.
Cool.
So yeah, what do you want to use for this? Is that feels like Stone Speak, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm definitely gonna have to get some craft in there at some point, but Stone Speak to start with.
All right. So that's 3 dice. Do you have any supply left? Or do you want to mark stress?
I do have runesmithing gear.
Spend that, get yourself a 4th die.
Cool.
Look at that fucking critical
Jeez.
right out of the gate.
Wow.
Boxcars and Snake Eyes side by fucking side. That's what the like it's his roller sometimes. That's great. So 5 ticks on the clock.
Cool.
And then that brings us to Doggerel.
Yay! So I have my awesome ability where I can just take a essentially I can during the settlement phase, I automatically get 1 tick towards any downtime project. Is
Mhm.
this the right phase to do that?
Yep.
Okay. So I've got that uh, grain, the specialty crop research that I'm doing. So that
Yep.
puts me at 4. And then I'll probably roll to finish that off.
Okay.
Hopefully I can do well. So this is a classic study, I think.
100%.
So that's 3d6.
Study plus the extra die from the archivist plus the research station bonus die. So that's 5d6.
Ooh, okay.
You can't possibly fail.
Oh, yes, I could, but I didn't. It tried, but I got a 6.
And a 6.
So,
I'm not saying that after the 6611 we just saw.
yeah, exactly. So I think that takes me to the end of the thing.
Yeah.
Get an extra slot, so it's extra fine. So I get my first specialty crop out of these seeds.
Absolutely. Well, why don't you think about that between now and next time? You can look at the examples in the book, or if you want to come
Okay.
up with something.
All right, that sounds good.
Okay. We come around, one more check. If anybody wants to spend a treasure to get an additional downtime action. Tolan?
Let's see. I think I probably should try to reduce stress again because that'll fill up really quick. Yeah. Let's do that.
So mark a treasure and roll me 2d6.
Oh, 1. Snake eyes.
Oof. Oof, so that was 661111. Oh no, I guess
Yes.
Sherry's rolls interrupted that, but
Oh, yeah,
still
that's right. Okay.
Still.
painful. Then Grunheld, do you wish to spend a treasure to get another downtime action?
I do. I don't know exactly what's going on with the skull, but as we haul out the massive desiccated body of the rat, of the squirrel monkey monster,
Mm-hmm.
I will have sent word for the gnolls that a representative should come. I will have asked the elves if they wish to have a representative come. But very publicly, this thing will be burned with many people around it, chanting about the victory that was won. Beer will be had by all. Anyone who comes up, the traders especially, are invited to be there because I'm activating our diplomats to give us that strong tier possibility. I'm taking a rep up.
All right, and we'll do our play.
Okay.
For
So-
August.
Excellent. Yes. First
So
performance. Oh, yeah.
Rep will go to 10. Excellent. Dawson. Do you wish to do another downtime action?
Yeah. Can you explore while a building is going on? I know you can't make a second building.
Yes, you can explore while the building is going on, but you can only do one exploration at a time.
Gotcha. Okay. I want to explore then.
Okay. Where do you want to explore?
I I think it makes sense. We've spent a lot of the year down on depth 3 between the monkey and the temple, and I said that's where Dawson's been obsessively wandering, so why don't we do it there?
That sounds reasonable to me. So that is a depth 3, so that's a is it? It's just a 3, right? Or is it 4?
Yeah, it's equal to depth. So
Okay, so just a 3-tick clock there.
Great. Used up. Haven't. Call in my. Take some stress and call in my guild again.
Okay.
And that's probably it. Yep. Okay. So journeying is what I was going with. Oh, Jesus. What? That's another 2 ones. I thought it hadn't rolled. Haha, silly me. It did. It just rolled the same thing.
So you'll get 1 tick on the 3-tick clock.
Okay.
Which brings us, Dogriel, do you wish to take an additional downtime action?
Is there something that's unfinished?
Yes, there is a bakery that is unfinished and unnamed.
I dream of scones.
And that Explorer Patrick's doing. It's
Right, right.
Oh, ooh, it's a hard choice, but really, I think a baker. I'm gonna help Grunheld out. Grunheld has been very helpful to me. I will help Grunheld out.
Okay.
So,
What do you want to use for doing that?
study for recipes.
Okay.
Aha, specialty, delicious things. Okay, so that'll give me 3. I got a 6.
So that is enough to finish that off. Where does that get built, Tyler?
It was in the.
Stony Caves.
Okay, by the brewery?
Yep.
Okay.
Our food cavern.
Yes. So we
It's
can.
more like a Starbucks. There's a brewery and the bakery. And it's all very
Beer bread pops.
exactly.
Patrick, will you put in the bakery thing there for me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, I just found in the document.
All
So the
right.
bakery now lets us, as a 1 supply, again, bread, beer bread, which will heal an injury.
Okay.
I
Got a
admit
lot of
there is
healing going.
There's a
That's-
better reason for that one. I can do my thing and in the adventure still heal myself.
Look at you bubing the system there.
I am nerfing away.
So, we are at downtime actions at the end of that. What I'd like to do is do the XP. So we keep that in mind from today and from last time. Then next time we'll do trade, get that worked out. I'll roll the entanglements and all those things, and we'll move on to that next year. Does that sound good with everybody?
Mhm.
So let's do this settlement phase, and we go to advancement. Let us start with Grunheld. Grunheld, did you perform your playbook specific XP trigger?
I think I might have managed something. Well, actually, I had the song thing I played off of with Tolan. Believe it, or was it maybe Dagriel, where we started singing the song in the middle of the
What is your trigger again?
When you address a challenge with shared history or ceremony.
Oh yeah, I think you get an XP for that, definitely.
And maybe a little bit of the ceremony for the burning, but that I don't know. I'll go with the 1 on that one, I think.
Did you express your beliefs, pursue your drives, and honor your clan legacy or your background?
All over the place. My shield maiden, my pillar of the community. I think I pushed all of that.
Yeah. So 2 points for that. Did you share a non-expedition phase scene with another founder? Yes, definitely. So mark an XP for that. You didn't struggle with your obsession, and you don't have a weariness.
I don't know if I've struggled with it yet, that hoarding, but I am trying to set myself in a position, and I just don't have a weariness yet.
Yeah. Now, the struggle with the exception is if you overdo it.
Oh. And I just, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Excellent, thank you.
Let's come to Dawson. Dawson, did you perform your playbook specific XP trigger?
Address problems with runes, ritual, or the spirit of the earth. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I had ghosts and an angry mountain and all
Yeah,
sorts of
that feels like a 2-pointer to me. Did you express your beliefs, pursue your drives, or honor your clan legacy or your background?
Yeah, I think the belief came in with the trying to find a way to incorporate the mountain's past into our story going forward.
I'll give you a point for that. And you definitely had a non-expedition phase scene with another founder, so I'll give you a point for that. Did you struggle with your obsession or weariness?
Not really this time.
Okay. That is fair enough. That brings us to Dagriel.
Yeah.
Playbook
So
specific XP trigger.
it's when I unearth a secret or leverage my supply case to help another. And I did in fact use that swig of strange brew, which for some reason cost me 2 points. So I think that counts. It was painful.
So we'll give you an XP for that.
Yeah, and I mean, unearth a secret. I did figure out that the one group of mages knew something about some of this, so I don't know if I found out exactly what it is, but I'm on the trail.
You're on the trail for that.
Yeah.
Did you
so
express your beliefs, pursue your drives, or honor your clan legacy or your background?
I think so. Let's see here. My belief, I got that written down. Knowledge is the true dwarven treasure. I certainly shared it quite a bit this session, with essentially going through all of the things that we knew about what was going on, the history, what we had unearthed on about this rune and about this situation, enough to impress a bunch of snobby
Yeah.
mage users and
And
stuff.
you did quite a bit of that research last time as well, so we'll give you 2 for that.
Okay.
You shared a non-expedition phase scene with another founder, so give yourself an XP. Did you struggle with your obsession or your weariness?
So the weariness is just when what you do when you're was I selfish? I
Yeah.
think I was when I went off to spend time with Brunthorn Thessel instead of staying back. I got the play done. Fishbanina seemed happy. I took a break. Then I came back. Didn't worry about too much else.
Okay, as long as we lean into that and make that a
Okay.
thing to play up next time. Okay.
Okay. All right. I mean, no one asked me if I could name the bakery because I was gonna, do
Yes.
that, but no.
So mark an XP.
Okay.
Toland, did you perform your playbook specific XP trigger?
Address a problem with invention. Oh yeah, I used the brew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I did.
So mark an XP for that. Did you express your beliefs, pursue your drives, or honor your clan legacy or your background?
Oh, I definitely expressed my beliefs in that same conversation with Dawson with the skull, because my belief is that we need to avoid repeating the past.
Yeah, I think we also saw you repeatedly pursuing your drives to, like last time, your scenes with Mira and with the other person, the shaman, and so on. So
Yeah.
I think it's worth 2. You shared a non-expedition phase scene with another founder, so that's another point. Did you struggle with your obsession or weariness?
I'm not sure how much I struggled with it.
Not yet. We'll start like looking at how we can make that a good XP trigger moment now that we've got those after
Yeah,
we've had
there's not
few.
really like a defined like I can point at and say, oh yeah, that was a struggle that caused problems versus, well, there's opportunity cost, and that's the only way we've really been
Mhm.
struggling with these things.
Yeah, I think we can kind of up our bar for that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and on the selfishness thing, I mean, I did get called out for naming everything after myself, and
oh, actually, yeah, that was last time
yeah,
that happened. So mark an XP for that.
okay.
Grunheld struggled with somebody else's weariness.
That's what you get for being the boss.
Yeah. So that's where we're gonna stop. Again, we'll take up trade, figure that out next time, and do the entanglements.
Can I
I
hit
would.
one thing just as a question?
Yeah.
Purely how you want to set it up. Ideally, we might get enough trade where we fill up, and we can take ourself to strong rather than weak hold. Would that mean that one from the diplomacy would roll over, Lowell? And my guess, and just me thinking, if we don't fill up, I can't imagine it rolling over if we don't do it in the same turn.
I don't think it would roll over. That would not be because of the way that they.
I mean, you'd had us roll over before when we did it the first time.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I did
and...
if I did it last time, then let's be consistent. We'll do that. Okay.
Okay. But again, if we don't hit it this time, if the trade doesn't go well,
Right now, did
I
everybody
don't
mark
see
off?
It carrying on.
Did everybody mark off their treasure for the actions they took? Because I don't think everybody did.
Ooh, let me check to see.
Because before people went on that, there were 5 treasures before people took their extra action. So I think we should be down
to 1. Yeah.
Yeah. Mind you, if
We
you
got
want,
some more though.
we can
then,
convert
didn't we?
that cache of trade goods that you have, the obsidian and gems. We could just convert that right to treasure right now if you wanted. So if you take yourself back up to 3, which will put you within. Yeah. So mark it to 3, and you'll still be within shouting distance of doing that next time.
Yeah, we got a good shot with 3 of actually making, because we got the jewel thing that gives us an automatic 1.
Right.
We have a good shot.
All right. I would like to do just a quick stars and wishes here. Let's start with Dagriel.
I don't know where you came up with the system for that fighting the monkey thing, but boy, did that thrash us. Woof. Phew. I mean, it was kind of good storytelling and interesting on how we, got to do that nice mix of playing into our strengths, being strategic about it, but also having to, switch lanes and maybe sometimes be a little bit outside of our comfort zone. There were some good moments, though. You guys came up with great descriptions of what was happening and really interesting ideas for how to assist and keep things moving. It was a ton of fun. It was good storytelling with good people in the best possible way. So that was a pretty awesome system.
Awesome.
So that's my big one. But also thank you for indulging me in writing a play with Fishbin. Yes.
Absolutely. Wishes?
I don't know. I wish that I will get my names on that bakery somehow. But along with Grunheld. So we could call it Shielded Pen Bakery. That's it.
Not Dagbucks.
No, not Dagbucks. That's a horrible name. But no, we will do it like it will be a sort of and then I'll have like a little D&G on a on a shield as the icon. Yeah,
Want
that'd
to
be
do
great.
pen or do you want to do parchment and we wrap all of our baked goods in parchment?
Oh, that's interesting. The parchment's kind of expensive,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
but
Yeah.
I mean, I have better uses for it,
The,
and I
yeah,
don't want to
the
write
scholars
on
would fight
greasy
you on that
paper.
one.
Yeah, you're not taking our parchment. So,
Excellent. Tolan.
Um, yeah, I mean, it starts for the whole the system and also the various consequences that you came up with. Like toward the end, it was like a real dilemma. It's like, oh well, do I let my guild take harm or do I potentially just get knocked out of the scene altogether? I like that there were a lot of actions and it took it took a lot of turns, but a lot of like approaching it from different angles, a lot of different actions, I guess is what I was saying. But also like everything we did felt consequential. So like good. I really like that. And I, as always, I really liked all of the PC interactions. But like I think just basically every scene Grunheld was in, like I don't know, it was just it was a very not necessarily Grunheld heavy, like as in Grunheld was in a lot of scenes. It was more like all of the scenes with Grunheld were very very grounded in that character. I'm not sure what I'm saying there. They were good.
No.
They were good.
Anything wishes wise?
I'm gonna be real curious about this whole dragon and ruins thing, but I'm sure that'll come up again. So
Absolutely. Grunheld.
That fight was super clever, Lo. That was really well done. And it was so neat to see everyone really anxious on the consequences, really having to make hard decisions. We all had super creative, interesting ways we did our stuff. I loved Dagriel's sponge full of awfulness that she threw in the face. I thought that there was I loved Dawson. Your actions were good, but your health was super cool. Whenever you came in and gave pieces out, that was so neat. I really enjoyed your help in Tolan was really, really cool. It was very, very nice. Ethan, I just love Tolan, but I kind of really enjoyed seeing the joy of Tolan when they came back with the moles of, do you get on it right? Of course I do. I love the whole. This is so neat. Tolan is such an exuberant character. With some folks that are kind of self-centered, Tolan seems so open, and I love that character so much. But all around, this was great. This was super dramatic. Just a grand fight and a good fun afterwards. I also loved No, I Won't Let Fishbina Come and Beta Come. And then the placation of her was a blast too. And Dawson, I really like your research path. I think that's going to be interesting. I look forward to seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
My wishes, I would like almost a gentle expedition when we come around next time. If we dip maybe to see what's up with the centaurs, maybe do that. But hell, if we could get by without an expedition and just roll through to the next year, it would not make me cry. Just say if we think we can put stuff on the back burner for one, or do just go and talk and hopefully not have a big huge hit. I'd love to see a roll on from this kind of where we came out of that big battle and a regrouping year from that.
Okay. We will see. Hopefully the entanglements will fit with that, since we do have our mountain is at +3. But we'll see. But I will keep that in mind. Patrick.
I agree with everyone. Lowell, I thought this whole like clock system for the big climactic fight was super cool. I think it really encouraged people to try approaches they wouldn't normally try. Of just like, well, I could make the obvious one on X clock, but how would I do this other clock instead? Which made for some really great moments throughout that whole thing, and it felt tense throughout it. And as we came out of it in the moment, I was like, oh, it's sort of a shame the monkey side like didn't get more going on their clock. But Sherry made a really good point of that encounter beat us up like hell, like so more stress than we have poured into anything thus far. So it really was a big impactful thing.
Yeah. If I had managed to hit 8, which I think could have been within the realm of possibility, that would have been another 2 consequences that you all would have had to figure out how to deal with. So
Yeah. But that was very cool. I enjoyed seeing people like deal with the aftermath of it. And Ethan, especially stars for like talking through and figuring out this temple. It's a building I've been wanting to get to for a while, but this is just like the perfect time and the perfect place to build it in. And I'm excited to see what sort of like horrifying monstrosity we make out of its head outside. Let's see. Wishes. So I found myself thinking, with the defeat of the Monkey King and finding the neat like rideable moles and stuff. We have squirrel monkeys. We have these rideable moles. We have that weird glimmer petal plant. We have our weird honey that we're making. Like, I'm really into the sort of like unique nature and biology things we have going on. And I'd love to find ways that those either like change life in the mountain or how we start like moving those out into the world in general as like a trade thing, or I don't know. I'm just super
No.
into those elements. I'd love
Right.
to play them out some.
Yeah, especially because we are on that kind of that yearly scale where we are seeing things, we can look at what the cultural drift is from your old society to this new society as it encountered different environmental effects and so on and different people. So yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's a really good point. I'm glad everybody enjoyed the clocks thing. I was super uncertain how that was going to work, and I'm very glad that it did. So thank you all very much. I am going to stop the recording.